The time has not yet come for a complete history of the Negro peoples. Archaeological research in Africa is still young, and many ancient sources remain only partly understood. And yet, there is another obstacle. A barrier harder than language, the prejudice of the modern world. A prejudice so deep that it clouds the judgment of nations that claim civilization. Much patient work is needed, histories, monographs, scientific studies that will quiet the controversialists who mistake their personal desires for proof. Still, the temptation to speak, to show the humanity of a sixth of the human race, is irresistible. This is only a beginning. A brief account of known facts, their meaning, and their place in the long story of Africa. Behold, the Sphinx is Africa. The bond of silence is upon her, trampled on, yet all untamed. Africa has been called by many names, each revealing mystery, fear, fascination. To merchants, it was the slave mart and the source of ivory and gold. It is the Ethiopia of the Greek, the Cush and Punt of the Egyptian, and the Arabian land of the blacks. To modern Europe, it is the dark continent and land of contrasts. In literature, it is the seat of the Sphinx and the Lotus Eaters, the home of dwarfs, gnomes, and pixies, and the refuge of the gods. Some would write world history and erase Africa entirely. But how could one forget Egypt, Carthage, or the civilizations whose stories have been swallowed by silence? Let's look at the possible causes. 1. Landscape. Africa is vast, 3 times the size of Europe, yet with a shorter coastline. A great plateau ringed by mountains, tapering to the south. 4 great rivers shape the land, the Congo, the Nile, the Niger, and the Zambezi. But even they cannot tame the deserts that extend across millions of miles. Africa lies deep in the tropics. Rainforests, deserts, savannas, heat and light that shape every plant, every creature. Africa is the land of ancient black peoples. Normal, human, varied. But prejudice demanded a caricature instead of reality. Science sought a single Negro type, but found variety, diversity, and centuries of intermingling. Race, they learned, is not a fixed line, but a changing story. Africa has never been isolated. Semites, Greeks, Romans, Arabs, Europeans all touched its shores. Each left marks on blood, language, religion, and trade. The Portuguese lifted the veil of centuries and began the slave trade that would scar continents. 2 forces shaped African history, outside inaccessibility, and inside openness, where cultures rose and fell without natural barriers to protect them. Insects, heat, and disease made survival a battle, one that shaped societies in ways the outside world seldom understood.